to our Thursday morning movement session. Good to see you all on Facebook and YouTube and everybody on Zoom again. I'm just charging the camera up because this battery wasn't quite charged up on my other camera, so it looks as if it's charged up now. So I will swap this over. While I'm swapping it over, find your comfortable space. We'll do some mobilization. We're going to play around a little bit with some balance work again today, and some of the take a step practice that just coming back from Portugal. That was some of the stuff that I was doing in Portugal as well. That's come on, that's good, that camera's come on. Hopefully the battery will last out. Let's start off with knocking. Get that spine mobilized, take your feet shoulder width apart, softness in the knees. Get yourself balanced, so nice and tall and lengthened through the spine. So we're rotating the spine, we're rotating around. If you imagine a line through the crown of the head, through the center of the body, use that as a central rotational axis. And just move from your center, from that lower dantian area, but with the feet rooted to the ground. So connected to the ground, strong through the lower body, light and lifted through the upper body. Just breathing easy in and out through the nose. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your upper back, softening. No strain, no force. And gradually slowing down now into water waves. So slow motion, a little bit of resistance. Around the front and the back of the body. And coming to rest, just bringing your feet hip width and giving yourself that moment just to find your balance. So your hips pretty much over the ankles, so the lower legs can be strong but relaxed as much as possible. Muscles relaxed, knees soft. Get the upper body lengthened on top, spine lengthened and upper body balanced on top. Head balanced on top of the spine. Little nod helps sometimes just to bring that head back and balancing it on top of the spine without being rigid. Thinking really strong through the spine, strong through the back of the body, soft through the front of the spine, through the front of the body. Soft ribs, soft belly. And then let's step back out to our shoulder width. A little bit more bend in the knees, our extension and flexion of the spine. So spinal cord breathing. Lifting the sternum, opening the upper body, chest, ribs. Breath in, breath out. And just light breathing as well, so we don't have to breathe more air than we need, just light, soft breathing. Expanding as you breathe in and softening as you breathe out. On the next breath in, let's just rotate to one side. And on the next breath out, come back down the center and just go side to side for a few breaths. It's like a good morning wake up stretch. One more to each side. And then when you've done that, just take a moment again. Find your balance, shake your legs out if you need to shake your legs a little bit more. Just balance for a moment. Relaxing the face muscles, relaxing the eyes. And then we'll step out, we'll go a little bit wider. So we go about a shoulder and a half width apart, but as long as you're comfortable in that position, not too wide, not too narrow. Hinge forwards at the hips, so the hips go back, we hinge at the hips, and then just rest the hands on the thighs, not necessarily on the knees, just on the thighs. And again, you could just take the hands off the thighs, so we're not putting a load of weight on the thighs there. And then we're going to shift the weight left and right. So the hips are the minute and shoulders are in line here. So this knee bends a little bit and tracks over the foot there. This leg straightens but not locked out. The pelvis is level to the ground as well. So the pelvis is just staying parallel. So hips and shoulder girdle on top of each other, the shoulders on top of the hips. So we're not doing this, we're not rotating or doing any strange movements with the hips there. We're just going slide to side, just gliding side to side. If you have any pain in the knees or any pain in the ankles or any pain in the hips, then just don't do this one. It's not about forcing any particular movement. Just sliding, gliding side to side. You're shifting the weight. You'll feel the weight shifting one side and then the other side. And then once you've got comfortable with this, we can start that movement through the upper body. And the trick is just to look at the opposite foot. So we start to move the body like a river. So this is where the hips lead and then that upper body follows. So we get the ripple going through the spine. So imagine that spine wave. So this is just another way of doing that lateral spine movement, but we're just adding in a little bit of rotational as well. Side to side movement. It's nice, it frees up the neck a little bit. So you're looking at the opposite foot that you're moving away from. Moving the body like a river. The flow, strong, powerful flow of a river. Good. And then when you're ready, just come up to standing. Slowly, slowly, slowly. If you've been tilted over a little bit, you might feel a little bit lightheaded. So just come up slowly and then just walking the feet together and then shaking the legs out. And then let's do a leg swing. So remembering we're balancing, we stabilize on one side, free up that opposite hip. Great one to just get these hips waking up and mobilized. Perfect if you're going out walking or running. Couple more. And then shake out a little bit. And then let's do a full shake, just starting with the lower body. So start with the legs, using the legs as a pump. Just keeping the feet flat on the ground, letting the shoulders go. And then if it feels good, if it feels comfortable, you can tap the heels into the ground. So you can lift up the heels and just get the heels tapping into the ground. And then bring the wrists in and just give the body a good shake. And if it feels good, you can do a fuller breath in. And just do a couple of cleansing and clearing breaths. Good old shake. And slowing down gradually when you're ready, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. And taking a moment just to stand. Balance, feel the blood flow, the energy flowing through the body. Have that light inner smile, just relaxing the face, relaxing the eyes, relaxing the cheeks, relax cheekbones, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the throat. Good. And let's do some balance. So get your feet about fist width apart, so a little bit closer than hips. And we'll balance, I'm going to mirror you, so we'll start off balancing on your left leg, arms floating up, nice and slow, opposite knee lifts, and then slowly down, and you can step out a little bit now, so step out a little bit, shift, the weight. Make sure you're nice and strong and stable through that right leg before you lift. And it's really slow. The slower the better. Be aware of where your upper body is balanced over the lower body. So we're not leaning back or leaning forwards. Just get everything in line. Slow, soft landing. Land ball of the foot, then heel, nice and tall. Straight leg that we're balancing on. Keep that movement going so we're not stopping and starting the movement. And once we're confident with a balance, shoulders relaxed, go with the breath. So as we expand, as we stand tall, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Don't worry if you wobble, as long as you don't fall. Wobbling is good. It gets the body relearning, sending lots of neurological signals and connections to the brain, to the body, sending out learning hormones. So wobbling and falling is great, as long as you do it safely. That's looking really good on Zoom. Nice and tall. Let's do one more to each side. Expanding as you breathe in, softening as you breathe out. Excellent. So some days that might feel really easy, other days you might be wobbling all over the place. But good to keep up that practice. And we're going to challenge ourselves a little bit more with the balance. We did this a while back. So I'm going to mirror you again. We're going to balance on the left leg. And we're going to go picking low hanging fruit. So you're just going down, reaching down and maybe rotating a little bit. And then picking and then straightening this support leg, straightening and coming back up to standing. And then we swap sides. So we go the right side, balance on that right leg, nice and strong with a hip back. So you're going hip back, you're reaching forwards, use the opposite arm to counterbalance, use the opposite leg to counterbalance. Go as comfortably as you can, picking the fruit, coming back up to standing. Breathing all of the time, so making sure you're breathing. If that's a challenge, then you can just kickstand this back leg. So if that's a real challenge and you want to go a little bit lower, just use this support leg, the trail leg as a counterbalance. So you can just keep that ball of the foot on the ground, most of the weight through this left side now, and just go down a little bit lower, picking the fruit, coming back up to standing. Remember, with all of these movements, we should be challenging ourselves, but it shouldn't be hurting, it shouldn't be causing pain or doing anything where you lose control. So if that's a better position, stay with that position. Step forwards with the right leg, kickstand that left, so you're just using it as a balance. I'll show you from the side. So if you watch from the side, this hip goes back. You keep the chest open a little bit there, hip back. You can pick the fruit, and you're using this hip and this leg to come up to standing there. Let's do a couple of more of those. So step forwards. If you can, take that opposite leg off the ground. Hip goes back. Counterbalance with that opposite leg. Counterbalance with the arm. Go low as you can. Picking the fruit. Coming back up to standing. Let's do the other side. Step forwards with the right. Balance. Hip back. Rotate a little bit. Making sure you can come up slowly and safely. Let's do one more each side. You can really feel the hips working. Balance. Lower. Challenge yourself a little bit. Rotate maybe a little bit more. Slowly up, slowly up, slowly up. Breathing, 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 breathing. Right leg, last one. Balance. Nice and strong. Take that hip back. Counterbalance. Reach. Use the ground. Push through the ground. Come up to standing. Brilliant. And shaking out the legs. Have another little bit of a shake. And then come to shoulder width apart. We'll do our spirals. So taking one hand out to the side, the other hand on the opposite hip. Remember, we're leading with the hips and the upper body is following. So this is great after just doing that balance exercise, just to free up the hips a little bit. So we go out to the side, back, round to the other side, lift, open up the chest, open up the upper body, come back to the starting point, and again. And then just go a few more. Get that nice flowing, spiraling movement going. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. One more on this side. And then we can swap sides when you're ready. Palm out, holding the teacup, and hips lead, upper body follows. Relaxing the shoulders, getting that flow movement going, breathing easy. Couple more on this side. And then take a rest. And just shake out again, stand for a minute, balance. It's always nice just to take these balances in between the movements we're doing, seeing how the body feels. And then we will finish off this morning's practice with some tigers. So always a great movement, great for the hips, great for the body, taking us into a squat. Remembering that go to your comfortable depth. Remembering it's not about forcing, it's not about hurting. Remembering that you are guided by the breath. So if there's a big change in the breath, if you hold the breath, or if you have to breathe heavier or have to breathe quicker, then you're most probably doing a little bit more than you need to be doing for this particular movement. So feet shoulder width apart. Tiger claws. The reason why we do this is because when you use those tiger claws, you really activate all the muscles in the back. So we get that nice strong front of the back and soft front of the back, nice strong back of the back and a nice soft front. So we're not holding loads of tension here, but we're getting a nice strong back. The hips glide back with all the time that intention that if you need to look in that direction or that direction to avoid any predators, that you can do. So we're not tilting down here. So hips are going down low. Center of gravity is going down low. So as low as you can comfortably. And then using the ground, pushing through the ground as you're coming up tall to stand tall. And then again. Coming back up to standing. And if it's only to here, if you get to here and that's all fine, that's perfect. You just push back up. So you just go to your comfortable position. We're looking to make sure that the knees are gliding over the toes, that we're not getting any movements like this going on with the knees. So everything is in line. That the pelvis stays parallel to the ground, so we're not dropping to one side or the other side. And that you're breathing easy. And you stand tall at the top. And again, that slow, smooth movement makes it just that little bit more challenging. Couple more. And as you come up out of this last one, stand tall and finish off with some pulling down the heavens. So just breathing light, breath in, and breath out. Crossing palms over the low dantian, bringing the feet together. And just taking a few seconds, just closing your eyes. And just allowing the body to rock and sway and spiral. With a little bit of bamboo in the wind. And then on the next breath, opening your eyes at the top of the breath, stepping out. Just giving yourself a gentle brush down. It's a nice way to start the day. Some challenging movements, some balancing, some of the squats, all great stuff, all basic stuff, but really good stuff to practice. It's great to be back live with you. So thanks for joining me. Nothing coming up this weekend, but there's quite a few things coming up over the next few weeks. Next weekend, not this Friday, not tomorrow, but the Friday after, we've got a lunch and learn with Karima Jam, who is an OA Oxygen Advantage coach that I worked with, who is going to share her story of climbing Kilimanjaro and how she used the Oxygen Advantage with that. So that's a lunch and learn. There's a Unlock the Power of Breath on the Saturday. So next weekend is busy. Then I've got loads of stuff coming up in the future. We've got Costa Brava. We're back in Portugal next year. We've got some new exciting stuff to tell you about in Spain coming up into 2023. So there's plenty to keep us all going, certainly over the next year or so. But until Tuesday now, let's forget about next year and think about Tuesday. I'll see you for the breath work on Tuesday. Thanks for joining. Have a fantastic weekend. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye-bye.